that true? You know, we have to remind ourselves sometimes, but, you know, this is the truth of your being. And I grabbed Louise Hay's book, who's always been my, my mentor, and she says, if we wait until we become perfect before we love ourselves, we will waste our lives. I'll read it again. If we wait until we become perfect before we love ourselves, we will waste our lives. We already are perfect, right here and right now. So repeat after me. I already am perfect.
I already am perfect.
Right here, and right now. Breathe that in. Just feel that. Even though the mind might go, no, you're not. Whatever it does, just bless that part of you. It's interesting. I love the work of Debbie Ford. How many know Debbie Ford's work? She does a lot of work with the shadow of ourselves. And it's really about loving all the parts of ourselves. All the parts. Even the parts that we don't think are lovable, because they are lovable. We're here to learn and grow. So if we can love those parts of us, how much better? How much easier life becomes. I remember in one of her talks, I have her DVD on the shadow, and she says, I'm a bitch. I just want you to know I'm a bitch. That's a part of me that I never wanted to admit. I never liked it, and I thought, yeah, I'm a bitch too. And I mean, there's parts of us. No, really, there's parts of us that have that side to us, especially when you're in menopause. Then you're even more. And it's, isn't it important to be able to just love all of it? Love the cellulite, love the wrinkles, love the parts of us that we don't think are lovable, that we don't want anyone to know about. Newsflash, we all are the same. We all have those sides of ourselves that we don't want anyone to know about, that only the people closest to us ever see. Stan says to me sometimes, how come no one sees the real you that I see? And I go, yeah, because it's safe. Because we're all real. All those parts are real. They're the humanist and the spiritual part and every part combined. And we'll fool ourselves if we say, oh, it's, I can't, that part, I can't say that part, I don't want to. I loved when she got out and she just in front of hundreds of thousands of people that have seen her stuff and says, I'm a bitch. I am. I'm going to admit it, There's parts of us that we don't want anyone to know about. And it's like making it wrong. It's like putting it in the shadows. So that all that does is split us apart. Is make us have different compartments. So shine the light into all the parts. Send love to all those parts. Even the parts that we think aren't lovable, that we don't want anyone to know. Only our partners or, spouses or children ever see, or, whoever it might be, True? Take a breath. It's okay to just be you. It's okay to not be perfect all the time, because you are perfect anyway. Who made that up? In God's eyes, in Spirit's eyes, we're perfection. We were made in that image and likeness. We are that perfection. It's a big thing to come into this human form. And we forget everything. It's like starting all over again, Kind of start again, and it's about remembering and being loving and coming back to loving and accepting ourselves for who we are. I could talk about love and that concept of love, but the most important love is what's in here and what you feel for yourself. Isn't it? That's where it all starts from. We can't have a loving relationship with someone else until it starts in here, until we build it inside of ourselves. And that's, easy to say. It's a practice. It's a life practice. It's spiritual practice. What does that mean? It means you practice every day. Every time you say, have a breath, you think, I'm loving myself with this breath. Every time you have a thought or you're going to take an action, ask yourself, is doing this loving myself? Am I loving myself if I have another piece of chocolate, my 9th piece? Am I loving myself if I eat this food that I know isn't good for me? Am I loving myself if I do this, whatever it might be? Only you know. And if the answer is no, then stop and be still. Stop and be still and say, what can I do right now, or say, or whatever it might be that's loving to me? Isn't that a good one? Use that one every day. Alma is doing this or to somebody else, is saying this to somebody else loving. Am I loving myself? Am I honoring myself? Am I honoring that person? Important stuff. This is how we start to change those patterns and become aware. Because patterns only change through what? Awareness. I remember hearing Michael Beckwith once say, do you want to be sleepwalking through life? Or do you want to be awake and aware? Because if you're sleepwalking through life, you're not going to change stuff. You're just going to get through life and end up on your deathbed going, well, gosh, what could I have done differently? Well, do it now, right? Do it now. None of us know. None of us know when our last breath is going to be. We don't know. Even if the doctor says you've got this amount of time to live, well, because nobody knows. Nobody knows, It's up to us. Our soul has said whatever it has said, So every moment counts, doesn't it? Every moment counts. Every breath counts. Take a deep breath. Just notice how that feels inside of you. Just feel it. Feel what that feels like. The words that have come through me. What's it feeling like inside of you?